What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for episode 3 of Unpopular Opinions, and let's get straight into it with J Money saying Dele still isn't good.
Is that unpopular? What do you reckon? Do you think that's unpopular? Popular?
No,
He's
I
very
think-
Marmite, isn't he? So
I think Dele's got a positive connotation around him at the moment.
yeah, he does. But it's funny though, isn't it? He still divides the fan base a little bit, doesn't he? I remember there was that one game that he had recently, and Brian came on and said what a bad game he had, and then the Irish Hotspur came on, didn't he, and said what a good game he had.
Yeah.
And it's funny how, you know, one player's performance but completely opposite perception. So yeah, he divides opinion a little bit. I think at the moment.
What's your personal opinion?
My opinion is it's much improved, but I still think it's short a little bit. You know.
So you agree with that?
I think that's not too unpopular. But I want to see him really work hard, work his socks off this year to see what he can do. Yeah.
I think that he's putting a big shift in for the team at the moment. I think he's running a lot, putting himself about, seeing a bit of a different Dele that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And I think people are kind of putting that against the old Dele, and I don't think you'll see the old Dele in the new Dele kind of thing. I think they're completely two different players, and the new Dele is more of like a deep lying player that's kind of putting himself about, winning balls in the middle of the park. And I think that he does, if he is going to thrive in this team, he needs to add a bit of creativity and a bit of nous in the box, and arrive late in the box and stuff like that, if he is going to kind of thrive in this role, because we've got TOBY and we've got Skip, and they're also doing a similar role to what Dele's doing. So I think we need another person in that midfield that's going to add to us creatively and attackingly.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely some more gears he can go up, you know, Dele Alli. So it just depends, you know, how he applies himself this season, and then we'll know, I think. But
I wouldn't say he's not good. I think
I wouldn't say he's not. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's not good.
He's playing well.
He's playing right, and he's really working hard. So you've got to give him credit for that. And I've never seen him get stuck in before. Like, he's like hurling himself at shots and stuff like that, at blocks and stuff like that. So I like to see that kind of level of dedication and commitment from him. So I don't really want to say anything negative about him at this stage.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, so this one is from All Things Tottenham. He says Skip, Tanganga and Hill are going to be some of the best in the league in 2 to 3 seasons. I mean, yeah, it's not that unpopular, I'd say. Is it? I mean, it's
best in the league is a big
some of the best in the league. Yeah, I mean, okay, he says some of the best in the league, but
still a big statement, isn't it? Skip,
yeah.
Tanganga and Hill. I mean, if you ask people outside of Tottenham, if you tell them Skip, Tanganga and Hill are going to be some of the best in the league, I mean, they'll probably laugh at you.
Yeah, I guess so. It just depends what they mean by some of the best. But if they're in a kind of a big group with others, or if they're just in their own kind of group on their own. But I can definitely see it with Hill. I think Tanganga, I've loved him ever since he first came into the team. Skip seems to be doing well at the moment. I know a lot of fans still think that he's a little bit rough around the edges, but but for me, Hill is the one that's going to really look like a world beater in 2 to 3 seasons. Maybe not so the other ones. I don't think Skip or Tanganga will be on the same level as Hill in 2 to 3 seasons. What do you think?
I think.
How do you see it going?
Look, it all depends on development, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It all depends on how this and the next few seasons go. But I think he's got a point. I think Skip can definitely grow into one of the best kind of defensive midfielders in the league. I do believe that. I think Tanganga is a difficult one. I think if I'm gonna rate them into how likely this is, I would put Hill on top, Skip second, and Tanganga third. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I would have Hill way out, on top, and then Skip and Tanganga around the same, I would say.
I rate Skip better than Tanganga, in my opinion.
I think maybe even Tanganga slightly ahead of Skip.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's very, very close.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say almost to the point where I see them as equally developed at this stage, you know.
Well, it's interesting. I want to know you guys' opinions out there.
Let
Let me know in the comment section below. But let's move on to the next one. Ben Hartshorn saying TOBY, our best ever defender.
I think that's not that unpopular, to be honest with you. I think he could well be, you know, him or Ledley King. Or how far back are we going?
Jan? You're not going to put Jan in there?
For me, TOBY was better than Jan.
Really?
Yeah, and I think he had a better attitude as well. I think when things weren't going well, Jan would throw his toys out the pram a little bit. I remember under AVB when things weren't going well.
Sherwood,
yeah, his attitude wasn't right. But when the team started performing better, he started to.
Can you not say the same about Toby?
No, I think.
What about that time he was banished from the team by Poch for a while?
For what though?
Him wanting to leave and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure how true that is though. And according to my barber who cuts his hair, he says that was a load of nonsense as well.
So why was he out of the team for so long?
There was a bit of an argument about how Toby wanted to go and see his family in his days off, and Poch didn't want to let him do that, even though he had like 3 or 4 days off, and he got the hump with that, Toby. But I mean, who knows? I mean, that's barber talk. But for me, Toby is, I would say, on a par with Ledley King.
Interesting. I mean, Ledley King was in a much worse side, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he absolutely shone. I think Ledley King was a special defender. And I think maybe on a par with one knee. If Ledley had 2 knees, then maybe he would have been better than Toby. But it's difficult to gauge, isn't it? Who's better, because Toby was in a much better side than what Ledley King was. Is there anyone else that you can kind of put in that bracket?
Best defender
Gary
ever.
Mabbott
Gary Mabbott's up there. Who else is even before that? I don't really know. It's before my time. You're going to have to go back in time. But from, let's say, the Premiership era, you've got Gary Mabbott, you've got Vertonghen, you've got Ledley King, and you've got Toby. They're the best of the Premiership era, aren't they? So if we're just sticking I keep saying Premiership, Premier League era, it's Toby or Ledley.
I think you've got to put Vertonghen in the conversation for that, in my opinion. I think after that kind of period where Tim Sherwood left us and then Poch came in, there's an argument to say he was better.
Vertonghen, then Ledley.
No, then Toby.
Then Toby. I think at their absolute best, Toby's better than Jan. But I think
Jan got Player of the Year for us. Yeah,
but that doesn't really, I don't really take too much into account. But for me, Toby was the slightly better, more supreme defender. But maybe Jan had more consistent performances, you could say, and he had more of the longevity. So I don't know.
And I think Jan had a bit more of a say in the dressing room. I thought he was more of a leader than Toby.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. There's not much to choose, is it, between all 3 of them?
Yeah, they're all top quality defenders, that's for sure. But I want to know you guys' opinions. Who is our best ever Premier League defender? We've narrowed it down to 3 in Toby, Jan and Ledley. But I want to know your opinions in the comment section below. Let's move on to the next one.
This is from Josh Perry. He says, need a skip replacement to compete for top 4. Ooh, you're not going to like that, Ben, are you?
Skip replacement to compete for top 4? You just won the championship. What are you talking about? I think I don't think that's true. Do you think that's true?
For top 4, well, I wouldn't just pin it all on him. I mean, we need reinforcements everywhere. But it's one of those things, though. Like, a player comes in, we start playing all right, and suddenly everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. He's the best thing since sliced bread. Then as soon as they have as soon as their game tails off a little bit, it's like get rid, dead wood. You know what I mean? We are fickle as a fan base.
I think that's just football fans.
That's football fans. Very reactive, very fickle. But look, Skip is it's the first 3 games he's had, properly in the first team, starting in the first team.
That's why it's super harsh to say we need to replace him to make top 4.
So I think it's a little bit harsh to say that at this stage. But potentially, you can look at that in 6 months' time, and you can reevaluate that. You can have a look at it again. But I think it's a bit harsh to say that now.
Yeah. I completely agree. Next one is from @MessyCoys, saying the romanticism with Bergwijn will not end well for us.
Yeah.
What romanticism is there with Bergwijn?
I think a lot of people are just thinking he's like this, going to explode into this amazing player. I do have my reservations about him, to be honest with you. But I don't really want to say it. I don't really want to say it so much, No, I think a lot of people think that he's going to be... Well, we had an unpopular opinion before saying he's going to be some of the best in the league.
No, that wasn't Bergwijn.
I'm sure Bergwijn was in there, wasn't he?
No, they said Tanganga, Skip and Hill.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe I got that wrong. But no, but there's a lot of people that do see Bergwijn being like this, or about to explode, and be this top player. I think it's very much jury's out. I think it could go either way at the moment. We're all hoping, aren't we? We're all fingers crossed that he's really going to break through. But I can definitely see the hesitation with him that Soham is saying here.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of make or break this season for him. I think if he has another season like he did last season, this season, it doesn't look like it will work out.
Yeah.
But if he can improve on last season, which is not very hard to be honest, if he can improve on last season, I think that we can see a better Bergwijn moving forward. And I think that he does have tools.
He has tools, yeah.
He has tools to thrive at Tottenham Hotspur. He just needs to get over the kind of confidence block and hesitation block, in my opinion.
Do you know what? My unpopular opinion, if it doesn't work out for him in his current position, I would encourage him to adapt his game and go and become a wing back or something, you know, because I think that he's strong, he's quick, he can move past plays, he's good in transitions, you know. So because he hasn't got the end product, I wouldn't like to see us just like get rid of him. I think maybe we could, if he was up for it, like, you know, adapt his game to fit in another position potentially. That's my unpopular opinion with him.
All right, that is his unpopular. Let us know what you think of John's unpopular opinion in the comment section below. That is episode 3. Stay tuned because episode 4 will be coming into your screens very soon. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.